This is not coaching. This is a podcast about coaching. Here we feature coaches, their stories, their life, their journey. Today, let's join me in asking our featured coach, Coach Divi Rocha. How's life, Coach?
Everything's going great despite the world war that's impending.
I know. So what's good today?
Well, today is a day of connection. Met with my niece who's, visiting from Poland, and um, what else? Yeah, met with some of our colleagues in ICFP. We're doing this module for our certification, workshop certification with PMAP. That's a project with PMAP. So yeah, it's been great. And
Very.
pickleball this morning.
Oh,
Played
wow.
pickleball.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah.
Right. So why did you choose pickleball?
Interestingly, I have not had any sports in my whole life, and that's the first thing. The thing that got me into it are my children, and also because there's a village
Mm,
pickleball association, and I thought, okay, now that I'm not employed anymore, I have more time since I'm, in consulting and coaching. I probably can get to know my neighbors. And yes, it's good because now I know my neighbors and they're becoming friends. Some of them have become good friends actually for the past year. Right.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very good. So, can you share with us, Dewey, how did you get into coaching?
Yeah. I'm trying to recall nga when and how. So I guess the root of that is from my training days. I-
Mm,
in management, that was the first job I had as a training manager. And at the time, I realize I have this passion to help people. And I guess it's also coming from the genes of my mother and father, who are both teachers. But then I'm not the person who likes the attention. And so I said, I really want to be a trainer who's really helping trainees learn. At the time, di pa ginagamit yung learning. And so I would go out of my way to help, learners. And even before, when I have classes, would help my classmates. So, and then the other milestone is, so my mentor from my previous work went to Canada, migrated there. And when she came back, she visited, she said, oh, you got to be a member of this ICF. It's really helpful. And then she described to me what ICF is. Then I don't know. I said, I don't know if there's ICF here. Then when I became employed again, because I was in consulting for a while, I met Julius Ordonez because we held a coaching workshop for our leaders because I was heading the HROD, learning and development, and all that. And he said, you can be a good coach. And because you have the presence, that's the first time I heard
right.
presence. And why don't you get trained? And so that's when I got trained through Benchmark, my first level. And then the rest is history. Now I'm a PCC. Yeah. And has coach more than siguro hundreds of leaders, and I'm into my 700 hour of
Oh, nice.
log coaching hour. So yeah.
Very good. Is there a particular segment of society that you're keen on helping? You mentioned something about,
Mhm,
you like helping. Yeah.
mhm. Yeah. Um, y- interestingly, as a manager and a leader, di ba, we plan and we sort of like set goals. But really, in my life story, things were like the pathway opened, sort of. No, so now I'm finding myself um, particularly keen on helping leaders. And why is that? And I'm recalling, when did I get this desire, and or should I call passion? Because when I was in consulting and I was running a workshop on assertive communication, I was hired by a big semiconductor company.
Mhm.
One manager came to me and very hopelessly remarked, what if the president cannot regulate his own emotion? And he would even throw cups at us and, accuse us that were bobo. Like he would say things, ano ba kakayang classic engineer, and he was like even mimicking how it was said. And it's like, wow. At the back of my head, it was like the stress that these people are going through, I can't imagine. And the ripple effect, right? To the family and all. And if they can just learn how to be more assertive, then it would be liberating, because that's also what they said. Now we know how to be more assertive and say what we mean and all that. And so I said, Lord, if you're going to use me further, then use me to influence leaders, because the effect would be like multiplied. No, it's not just one person I'm going to help and impact, but it will be families and teams and bigger groups. No, so yun yung prayer ko talaga. And now I'm finding myself being called to coach executives for the past year, and even in my previous organization. No, and then parang part of that may intersection ng mostly women, no, who are
Mm.
successful leaders. And because I am a woman and a mother of 8, uh, so parang, I don't know, I believe in divine connection, no?
Yeah.
That's where I'm called, and my heart is also for those women who are leaders who need not separate their personal life and their love for their family, and their dedication and commitment to produce the results that's expected of them and be successful at what they're doing. So yun
So
ang
it's like having a work-life balance without really intentionally dividing, right?
Mhm.
This is
Yeah,
time for work or this is time for being a leader
right.
because everything is interconnected.
Yeah, it's the whole person, di ba?
Good
I
person.
always believe that you don't hire just the brain of a person. You
Exactly.
you hire the whole person, and with that package would be the human side of it. They will have some problems, issues, stresses at home. Kaya I don't believe in that. Before kasi, my bosses would say, leave your problems at home. But there's no such thing. And we know that now. I mean, with all these studies on wellness and boundaries and all. Yeah.
Correct. Now I agree with you on that. So as an executive coach, right?
Right.
Yeah, okay. So what are your value propositions?
Hmm. Interestingly, in this practice of coaching, no, I was thinking, okay, for a product kasi, it's easy to determine a value proposition, right, in marketing. But then as a coach, it's really who I am. I believe that. And the experiences and the the knowledge and the identity that I bring, which forms part of that presence that I offer as a gift to my client. So, in summary, and if you're asking me kasi at least three, no, um, I would call it parang seamless integration. It's like I am a coach, can understand your business agenda and PNL and all that. Also because of my education and exposure as an executive. Also, I bring that human side as a mother, as a leader of people, and also because my Clifton Strengths top 5 is relator, connectedness, responsibility, belief. No, that's what I bring, and so I would say that if parang the question also can be rephrased to why would clients get me, right? Why would they pay something to get me as a coach?
Yeah.
So it is that there's this whole human lens that I have that I bring to the conversation, and that business fluency, and then that values anchored resilience that I have went through in life. You know,
Mm.
what's not in my resume is that I have 8 children, and thankfully, thank God, no, by His grace, my husband and I have put them all to good schools, and they're all graduates. And for 5 years of our 30 plus years of parenting, he was abroad. Like, you can consider him like OFW. So I was alone, of course, with the help of some of my relatives, no? But
Mm.
that is what, the challenge of being a working parent,
Yeah.
doing these things for the children, and yet make sure that you are delivering what's expected at work.
Right. That's so powerful. I didn't know that about you. Wow. Okay. So, what do you like most about coaching? Me as
Mm.
a coach, I have my own, if you ask me what I like about my about
Uh,
coaching, no? But you, what do we like most about
okay.
coaching?
Um, when I reflect on this question, parang I draw from my Gallup strengths, and one of that is belief, no? The thing kasi is, in coaching, I feel very fulfilled to witness how a client gets to these aha moments. And for me, it's like watching a movie. And if you're familiar with Paul, who was sold, di ba?
Mm,
And since malapit na ang Holy Week, so I don't know, ito yung parang image and metaphor that came to mind. It's like a movie where Paul is featured and in chains in prison. We know that's a story. And suddenly, by some divine power, the chains are broken and he's set free, more empowered, confident on his
mhm,
purpose, who he is in Christ, and the mission that he has, which is to write all these books that we now enjoy in the New Testament, right? And the
mhm,
environment did not change, right? He was still in prison and he wrote all those books there. So it's like that scenario in a movie,
mhm.
and I would see that in a client, and it's like, literally like that. It's um parang chains are broken, like there's light that they see, and it's like, whoa, oh, no, I can do this, and all that renewed confidence. And just watching it and knowing that I have been part of that, humbly accepting that God has used me for that, whatever miracle that happened there, is so fulfilling for me. I mean, it's like, well, thanks for the fee, but also
Yeah,
like that is priceless, right? So that's what
yeah,
I love about it. It's like a mission, a ministry that a
it
church would
is.
call it, right?
Yeah, it is. I resonate with that.
Yeah, di ba?
Yeah, that's deep and very powerful and very visual, no?
Mm,
The chains that you break after an aha moment.
mm.
That's good. So,
If I
um,
may add, sorry,
yeah, go ahead, go ahead.
So it's like, di ba, as we kanina, we started with there's a impending world war. Parang this is as a coach, our little contribution to sustaining and hopefully expanding that goodness left in this world, right? And
Yes.
especially for our clients, our leaders of societies or organizations, then the good impact of these leaders in the small or big worlds that they lead. Diba?
Yeah.
That knowledge that we are doing good for the world, for humanity, for families, and for client, or even just one person at a time.
One person, one leader.
Diba? It's
Maybe they just
it's
want to be listened to.
right. It's
Maybe they just
so
want to
fulfilling.
share. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. So how does Coach Dewey prepare for a coaching session?
Yeah. Well, I guess all the training has prepared me and all those life experiences. And even with all those experience, reflecting on, what good has come out of this and
Mhm.
bringing that and retaining all those. No, but when you talk about like, okay, I'm going to have a conversation today,
Yeah,
of
yes.
course, getting to know the client, the context, and all that. Spiritually, I really honestly pray for my clients
Mhm.
because I know that there might be some things that I may not be able to, like, I may not ask the right questions, or I may not be able to capture what this person is trying to say to
Mm,
to effectively reflect back, no, with the right
mm,
words, what he's trying
mm.
to say. Um, and I think that's what we're learning from our experts also. Parang learn the process, but forget it. Because
Ah,
just be
true.
there and
Be there.
be fully present. And I guess that's our road to mastery, right? So for me, prayer is very helpful, and just believing that, Holy Spirit will give me the right
Mhm.
mindset and the words and the questions and all that. And work in the hearts and mind of my client. And then physically, yeah, I exercise, I do pickleball.
Yeah.
And then after, I make sure I walk. Of course, I need to eat, right? And coffee, one coffee a
Yeah,
day.
yeah. Okay, so that's also how you distress.
Right.
Yeah, all
Yeah.
right. Okay.
Mhm.
Now, let's talk about coaching in the context of the Philippines. We
Okay.
mentioned you brought the talk a while back to what's going on in the world and the leaders
Uh,
of, the superpowers. Now let's go to the Philippines.
mhm.
What do you think is the future of coaching in the Philippines?
Hmm. Of course, I'm not Madam Auring, but based on our vision and
Yes.
mission of the Philippine chapter of
Yeah,
ICF.
yeah.
And we're becoming more active and aggressive in spreading the practice of professional coaching, di ba? Like you, I mean, biglang naging member ka na ng club, ng ICF. It will only get bigger in influence and impact, I believe. And we're envisioning a Philippines that's thriving as
Yes.
more leaders, individuals, and teams, and even those in universities have access, no? Have access to coaching now because we are doing a lot also of pro bono volunteer work, di ba, with organizations. And parang I think right now it's like remember the times when some medicines are only available in the US or in Western world, and it
Yeah.
will come to us like a decade after. So parang ganun ang tingin ko, no? It's like this kind of medicine that is now available and accessible to us, to
Mhm.
Filipinos, not just in corporate world, but
Mhm.
also nga in schools and institutions. So with all this partnership ICF is building, I believe our reach will be wider. And it's not just in key cities, no? Technology, I think, is also a very helpful enabler, no, for us to reach. And even minsan, that technology doesn't have to be sophisticated technology. It can be just the cell phone availability. Because I had a client before in our pro bono
Mhm.
coaching one time, a teacher from Samar, and she goes, I don't really have internet, mom, and I don't have a laptop. That's only school, but I have a cell phone. And so can we just do our coaching via cell phone? I said, oh, yeah, why not? Diba? So
Yeah.
wala kaming video, but we were able to accomplish what she needed for the series of coaching conversations. So I think, that's my hope and the prayer that hindi lang siya pang executives, pang corporate, but even, people who ordinary, not naman ordinary, but like, coming out of college, parang may access agad sila.
Correct. And
Yeah.
we do this as well by
Yeah.
letting them understand what coaching really is.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, they can
So,
access it, but do they really know what to expect, right?
mhm,
And what are the benefits, right?
right. I think you're doing your share of that, no, through your podcast and the other marketing activities that you do for ICF. So great job for
For
marketing.
us,
Yeah,
yes,
our
for
marketing
everyone.
committee
Yeah,
of the
that's
chapter.
right.
Right.
Yeah, it's like from the boardroom to the
To the
everyday.
dining room.
Yeah, minsan,
Classroom.
it- yes, we as parents use
Mhm.
our coaching skills by listening
Right.
to them, being present, and all of that. And
Yeah.
we also do this. We bring this out to the community, to the
Yeah.
universities, schools, etc.
Mm, that's right.
Good, nice. Okay, so we have three and one segment. Can you
Okay.
see? Okay, so in this three and one. I ask you, you give me three answers to one question.
Three answer. Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
Um, what's your three favorite books? And what?
Ah, okay. Uh, uh, favorite ko sila because ang laki ng impact, no, sa akin.
Yes.
So the first one is Dare to Lead by Brene Brown, and I even watched her talk on that, no, because her stories demonstrated to me that being courageous, because growing up, I wasn't courageous. I've always felt like I need to be quiet. Being the youngest in a family of 10 children, um, I parang ang tendency is to be quiet, no.
Mhm.
I didn't have the courage to speak up. And it talks a lot about vulnerability, and that helped me understand also shame, which is common in our culture, and
Mhm.
enabled me to like help myself understand my the things that's holding me back.
Mm-hmm.
So yun, that was really powerful for me, Dare to Lead. Um, and then Think Again by Adam Grant. No, when I read that book, it's like, whoa, this is what curiosity is about. And as yung college degree ko, biochemistry. So, ano,
Wow!
science.
Really? Biochem?
Yeah, layo na.
Wow!
So what I learned from that is that the research discipline, the mga
Ah,
tipo of
yes.
observation theory and all that. So he was talking about that and resonated with me. I said, oh, nga, no, this will be a more peaceful world when we all show up in our conversations and meetings open to what we don't know, because that was his
Mm,
book was all about, right? Na curious. We're like scientists, not prosecutors, not preachers, So I like that book.
mm,
Then the other one, my children. Actually, I've been listening to Mel Robbins podcast, and then
mm,
one of my daughters said, "Mommy, my book online, si ano, Let Them Theory." So,
mm,
I'm reading it and like, oh, I know. This is an expanded, for me, expanded and practical demonstration of what surrender, like when God says surrender, is
mm,
letting go of my need to control things. Parang ganon. And it's so liberating lang then to read her stories from her own successes and failures in life. Na parang, yeah, it's possible, It's difficult, but it's possible.
mm.
Let them. So yeah.
Ah, I
Right.
like that. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah,
Um,
you're
I
welcome.
will try and look for, I'm familiar with the Brené Brown, but the one about Think Again, I'll try
I think
to look
again,
for.
Adam Grant.
Yes, yes, I'll try
And
to look.
then Let Them Theory, Mel
Let
Robbins.
them theory, yeah. Thank you. Thank you for that.
Oh, yeah.
Now, for
Mm.
this one question for a
Okay.
start of
You're
our
surprised.
yeah. No, what I am getting from you is your spirituality.
Mm,
You're a spiritual person.
mhm,
So maybe I'll ask something about a favorite quote from the Bible that
mm,
has um maybe defined you or something
mm,
that aligns with your dreams, with your life, with your beliefs,
mm.
what you believe in. So,
Okay. When I was starting as ito na nga, sa training, no, HR and coaching, yun yung ano parang sabi ko, um, yeah, as I told you, I don't want to be the center of attention, but I want to be able to help people. And so, but in this profession, I need to communicate, right?
mm,
Uh, and growing up in a provincial setting, hindi hindi trained, no? Or hindi, yeah, I guess hindi trained to articulate in a way
mhm,
that's like now. This is how I communicate now, is learned. I mean, I didn't grow up like this. So, nung natuto na ako magbasa ng Bible, sabi ko, in one of my readings, and this pop out, Ephesians 4:29, yung kanina, na-share ko sa'yo before we went on air. And it's that, parang it hit me na, oo nga, no? It says, let no corrupting talk come out of your mouth, but only such as is good for building up, as fits the occasion, that it may give grace to those who hear.
wow.
Diba?
Give
Parang,
grace,
oo. And it's all about building up someone. So,
uplifting them. Yeah.
diba? Not if there's nothing good that we can say, then maybe let's just be quiet. But if it is going to be helpful to those who need according to their need, then yeah, why not? So, yon. That is like constantly reminded lang din. Kasi parang I didn't learn this in school, and then didn't learn this growing up. Now we gotta choose our language and be more mindful of how our words are impacting other people. But all this training that I had so far, from training to HR to coaching, it's all about that. And there's
Yeah.
also another verse in the Bible that says the tongue. is
Yes.
like a two-edged sword. Yeah. So
Yes, that's true.
parang you
Yeah,
you
that's
can cut someone, or
yeah.
you can hurt and you can heal.
Right.
So
Right.
yeah.
Correct. I agree with that. I resonate with that being in the communications
Yeah.
industry.
Uh-uh.
The tongue does not have
Fire.
yeah, but it can cut. It can affect a life with
Uh,
what you say or you don't
uh,
say at the moment, right?
right. Yeah.
Correct. Wow, thank you. Thank you for all this
You're
sharing.
welcome.
Yeah.
Oh,
If there's anyone who would want to reach out to you, where can they get in touch?
well, yeah, now
Yeah,
it's the
socials.
LinkedIn world, right?
Yeah.
You can look me up at LinkedIn.
Uh-huh.
With the prodding of my children, I'm also I'm also in Instagram and
Nice.
Facebook, parang may business page, yon.
Yes.
But I'm doing that, to just help whoever can be helped by what I post there. Well and good. If if it's only one person, then yeah, I did my share.
Thank you. Thank you for your time.
You're welcome.
This is
Thank
so
you.
engaging. I didn't know so many things about you. Yeah, but we only got to work together last year,
Last year,
right?
yeah.
But thank you for sharing who is Dewey with
Yeah.
us and
Thank
with
you for giving me this opportunity and a platform. And like, just before we started, yeah, that was my prayer, because one side of my head is saying, oh, this is gonna be difficult. And I said, but Lord, if this is your call and what I will say will be helpful, then so be it. So I hope someone's inspired and encouraged as you listen to this podcast. Thank you, Makai.
All right. Thank you. Thank you so much for being here, our dear followers. We learned a lot. I did. I learned a lot from Dewey, from her sharing about courage and, communicating and presence. Oh, we can talk for hours, I think, just sharing that with you. But please do join us again next time as we shine a light on our coaches from the ICFP as we ask them, how's life, coach? This is your host, Makai Quadra. I'm your coach, moving hearts with you. Thank you.